as the weatherman promised. Gray and ugly, very cold. Didn't get quite as cold last night. I think it was right around 32. I woke up at about 2 o'clock in the morning and checked the thermometer. About 30 last night. Woke up this morning though, it was about 38. I think it's about 40 right now. It was pretty dark over there, but I see there's a little texture in the clouds. I like that. And it's actually a touch lighter right over here. 70% chance of rain today. I got up early because it was dry. Got the camp all cleaned up. Left a nice wood pile. Most of that wood was there, as the birch bark was already there. I cleaned out the fire grate. Never talked about that yesterday. It was really full, just buried full. People were having fires on top, which is why the grate broke, I'm sure. And so I dug all that out, so had a nice fire in there last night. Camp is very clean, and I'm all packed up. 7:30. Gonna head that way is the bushwhack trail back out to the main hiking trail. A grove of white pines I'm walking through here now. The northeast corner of Home Lake. Just amazing. Just amazing. Oh, it's starting to rain. See the haze up there in the trees. Just crazy amounts of old pine. Nice trail here too. Oh, this is the north end of Home Lake. Out there on that rocky point is where I camped last night. Beautiful campsite. Those kids did camp here in the campsite here last night. You access it off of the Portage Trail, it's right there off the Portage Trail. Anyway, better keep moving. Yeah, this grove of pines, like I said, on the north shore and extends down to the northeast shore of Home Lake, is the nicest stand I've seen anywhere, including the Lost 40. I don't know. This is some kind of crazy place. How far is it up there to the first branch on these big Norways? Not far from that campsite, you can hear those people talking. It's just, this grove just goes on and on and on. Amazing. I have to look up this too. I've seen a few of these on the trail. Marks on trees. Obviously it must be a trail marker, but never heard of the 2- thing before like that. Alright, nice trail though. Yeah, this is called Home Creek. My first day I crossed that one big boardwalk across the creek, and I thought that was Home Creek. No, that was called Spring Creek. This one on the north end of Home Lake, right out the corner, heading out into that swamp. That dark thing caught my attention right away, hoping I would see a moose, but not so lucky. White-throated sparrows, I'm pretty happy. But I see there's a little cairn there, and actually another pink flag up there in the tree. Second flag I've seen the whole trip. Gotta figure out how to cross this bugger. No good options yet. I think maybe people have been using that log, but I don't like the looks of that. Let's go up here. Oh yeah, this is better. Messier, but I can keep dry feet in this one. That's kind of pretty. And all the luck, I must have used up all my luck so far this morning, because so far it hasn't rained. And way across right over there is the campsite I stayed at last night. Pretty neat place. Yeah, I walked down the shore about that far. Looks like I should have kept going and I could have maybe gotten to that rocky point. Did a lot of exploring the other way, but not that direction, I guess. Alright, let's give this a go. After leaving Home Lake, which is right over there in the distance, pretty flat trail, but then all of a sudden we climb straight up the hill. I know this trail goes up on the ridge here for about a mile on top of a very big ridge. It's pretty much abrupt all of a sudden up on the ridge, and at the top is this big wall of rock. Pretty crazy. This slope and angle, this we're on the water's edge, may have been a good pictograph site for the natives. Oh boy, looks like the trail goes up a little further. Walking the big ridge here, just north of the North Angleworm campsite on the west side. Huge ridge, I've been following it forever. Big pines and nice mossy trail. Yeah, beautiful. A lot of ups and downs though. I've been kind of struggling. I made myself a little walking stick there. My knee's been bothering me. Yesterday it was bothering me a bunch. Just rest it, it's fine. My right knee. But boy, today she's really flared up all the way. Been taking ibuprofen every 4 hours and just not cutting it. It's fine when I'm holding still, but and even taking a step isn't too bad. It's when I release the weight off it, just a sharp pain. So I don't know what's going on. Just have to stop and rest, Mara. There's the campsite that I stopped at yesterday, actually. Yeah, it was yesterday. Friday. Stopped there and checked it out. Right on the water. Kind of cool. Now I'm all the way across the lake. Took a lot of miles of walking to get here, but I got here. The campsite, which is right here, I see a wooden post, so I assume it's really close to that. It is a heck of a walk down here. The hiking trail is way up on the ridge up there and brings us around and down to here. So we'll see. Oh, I see there's something on the tree. This is unusual. Never see this. Huh. Township range sign. And somebody had to go shoot it. Why would anybody do that? Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna go find the campsite. I really need to rest that knee. I've decided to keep walking. The site here is kind of cool. It's way up on a hill up there. But it's kind of a bugger with this sore knee to get up and down to the water. It's completely open viewing across to that campsite. I ran into 4 hikers, some guys who were going to go hike there. Or going to hike and we're planning to camp there, so I won't be able to see if they got there or not, I guess, but that's alright. And my knee is sore, really sore, but took a long rest and had a Spam sandwich for lunch. And about 11 o'clock, I'm going to go this extra mile here or so down to the south end of Angleworm. There's 3 sites down there. I'll stay at one of those for the night. Hasn't rained yet, thank God. I don't know how I could get so lucky, but hasn't yet. maybe it will sooner or later, but 50% chance the rest of the day and 40% chance tomorrow, and pretty much just gray and cold like this. It's pretty chilly, but get moving and see what happens. Somewhere back here was the old fire tower. Don't know where that was back here. I'll just look to see if there should be some concrete anchors where it was. There's footprints and things here, a little track where somebody else has walked. Probably back here somewhere. Well, this part of the trail coming off the highest point up where the fire tower used to be somewhere. It's quite a climb down. Just going to note this for future reference. It comes down from way up in the hill, comes down, it's switchbacks, and where I'm at, and then continues to go down around this corner. Nice trail, but still way up above the lake, and I know sooner or later I gotta get right down to that land down there. There's a campsite down there. Yeah, that's an impressive rock structure right there. Kind of guessing maybe the fire tower was up there on this rock. Right by the trail that hugs the shore. My reasoning is because this big white pine right here just happened to be looking up right there. You can find it is an insulator wired in the tree. Can't see it in the video, of course. There it is. Ceramic fencing insulator wired or nailed to the tree. Probably supported a cable, or maybe they had a wire going down to the lake to retrieve water. I mean, who knows what they were doing. Could have been a radio, and part of a radio antenna even. Interesting. I think I'm going to stay here at this campsite. This is the very furthest south one on Angleworm. The 3 hike-in sites. The north one is just a tiny little spot in the hole in the woods. I don't even see a spot to put a tent. It's literally a tiny little 12-foot wide clearing in a boulder field stream bed. Doesn't make any sense to me. Very little use, obviously. The second one is way up on a rock peninsula, way up there, windy as can be today because the wind is from the northeast, just howling down the lake, and it's right next to the trail. And literally, the trail is, your tent would be a couple steps from the trail. And then the very furthest south one, I would stay there anyway, I guess if it was for the wind, but anyway, this furthest south one isn't nice by any means. It's this is like the only spot I can see at all where I might be able to put my tent, right on the trail on the way in. Weird. But in the, oh yeah, latrine is right there. It's funny. And the site is right here. This part isn't so bad. It's on a little bay. The early morning moose watching area. It's very rocky, close to the water. Oh, that middle site also is way above the water. I mean, it's a mountain goat path, switchbacks up and down. And with this knee, I don't want to be walking up and down the lake that way. This one doesn't have the best access to the water. It's close, but it's pretty murky. I do need to get some water sometime, but it'll work. The fire grate here is, oops, there's my camera strap. Fire grate here is quite beat up and shot. Oh. And if you look right there, you see some canoes. And that is the portage landing, or the Angleworm portage. That first day where I walked across a black spruce bog, I think I was cutting across this one from that hill to that hill through that bog. And then the main trail comes in wise and goes that way, but also wise and comes over here at this portage landing. And then the hiking trail comes from the portage landing up to here and continues north. Well, there, now you got all that straight. I'm gonna see if there's a better place to put my tent in here. Kind of not looking too good, but I'll see what I can find. Well, having a fire. It's about a little after 6. Believe it or not, it still hasn't not rained today. Amazing. Yeah, I fixed the fire grate all up. Even with my sore knee, I just took it easy. Took a good nap for this afternoon for quite a while. The sun actually peeked out for a second. It was kind of warm. It was awesome. The fire going. I had cleaned up the whole campsite a bit. Picked up all the wood. Somebody has scattered it all over the place. I'm glad I just ate my cheddar broccoli. That was awesome. And heading out this way into the wind. Yeah, there's some dark puffy clouds coming. Was just solid gray all day. Like I said, when the sun came out, all it was like you could see the outline of the sun through the clouds for a little bit while I was taking a nap. It actually got kind of warm in the tent. It was awesome. So I got to be kind of careful with the knee. It's the going downhill that hurts. Up is no problem, but down is a bugger. I want to release the weight off of it. That's kind of bad. Drying my water bag. I got water all filtered for tomorrow morning. And a tent I got up here out of the winds where I ate and stuff. And I got to pick up my whole big pile of mess. I got all my gear out pretty much. Cleaned it, dried it, whatever. And the tent did fit in this little spot. Jammed right here on the steps on the way in. Pretty much about the most uneven, bumpy, lumpy setup I've ever put it on. And look at this, latrine is right there. And this is the trail in. I'll keep working on packing. In the summertime here, when all this brush gets leaves on it and stuff, I suppose the latrine will have more privacy, but the rest of the year it's not. Last morning, Sunday morning, what is it, the 19th of May, one very gray, cold, ugly day, windy. Wind is just howling. I'm in a sheltered spot here where I had my tent, but out here where the lake is pretty brutal. There's 15-mile-an-hour winds or so, I bet. And it is cold. Holy cow. 6:50 in the morning and I'm all packed up. My knee hurt so bad last night, I just wasn't sure what was going on. I had to reposition about every 10 minutes all night long, and it would lock up and I couldn't bend it or I couldn't straighten it, and it was really pretty murderous. So I got up kind of early and got things ready, but I'm ready for my day. I got my hiking stick here and head on out this trail. Should be a 6:50. I should be at the vehicle. I suppose it's going to take me a while. It'll be 8:30 maybe when I get there or so, assuming it all just goes well and I don't have to rest. Yesterday I could walk about 20 minutes to half an hour before I had to stop and just let the knee rest for a little while. But it wasn't too bad. I got a dual hat thing going on. I realized I haven't had the stocking cap off really this whole trip. Kind of strange. Had it off a couple times maybe, but all right, on my way.